So here we're going to do analysis of the canter. We see that the horse is tensing up before the strike off to canter, and then he moves with a bit of tension. He lifts his head high and extends his caudal cervical spine and the thoracic spine. And this makes his back stiff, and his lumbar spine is stiff as well, and he can't engage his hind limbs. So his canter is flat and the hind limbs are just pushing behind. Most of his weight is shifted towards the front, and that makes his croup go high, and his forelimbs make bigger movements to cover the ground that he cannot do with the hind limbs. His tail is to the right side, and when you look at him from behind, it seems like his pelvis is also rotated to the right. And let's change the side so we can have a look on the left canter. Okay, now he started a bit more calm, but still he's quite tense and his back is quite stiff, and he bends his neck, but he can't really bend his body to the left. And when his weight is on the forelimbs, he just uses his inside hind limb to push his quarters out, and he pivots his body around the forelimbs. And soon he breaks into trot and strikes off again to canter. Again, we can see that the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, and the pelvis don't move. They're in extension most of the time, which makes the hind limbs, the canter to go flat, and the hind limbs are not engaging. And they are used just to push backwards, to paddle backwards without really propelling the horse forward. Now the forelimbs, again, we see the same thing. They do bigger movements to compensate for the lack of engagement in the hind limbs. Most of the weight is on the forelimbs, and the croup goes high, and that's why we see that rocking motion back and forth.